Well, tell us about so how did you arrive at Dad Matters? And I know again you're a dad. You have three kids who are
their ages.
Yeah.
Jacob is 22. He just turned 22. He's also married. He's in his college his senior year of college now.
Wow.
He's married to Darren, my new daughter, my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, he just got married a few weeks ago, right?
And then my middle child, Zach, he's 19, and he's in his freshman year of college right now. And then my daughter, Aubrey, she's 16, and she's our high school dancer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
dances
great.
all over the place. So I knew, to answer your question, Dad Matters really kind of began just with them. You know, they were teaching me so much about, you know, when you become a husband or when you become a father, you really learn really quickly how selfish you are. You can see your faults kind of out on display. And
it's amazing.
I actually was like, wow, they're teaching me a lot, and I wanted to just share that, here's the word again, experience.
Yes.
With other dads, other parents. So it's not a podcast about like my expertise. I mean, yeah, I've got kids who are older and I've gone through, but it's the experiences that I've been fortunate to have with them. Those are the things I'm interested in sharing. So I sit down with other parents. I try to find distinct parents, and I sit down and we talk Dad Matters. Or kid matters, or parent matters.
Well, from the first time I heard it, our friend Justin told me about Dad Matters, and I thought that is like one of the best podcast titles I've ever heard. Dad Matters, because a dad matters in a family. It's an important role, and it's dad stuff. It's dad matters.
Stuff. Yeah, man, talking Dad Matters all day long. Yeah,
and you know, I love bringing that out, too, because we tend to think of people who go after dreams or want to find out more who they are, what they have to contribute to the world, as Lone Rangers, as not also having a family. And I kind of love debunking that myth. And you're a great example of that, because you have all this stuff going on, and yet I see you with your kids, and it's clear you have a very strong, time-based, depth relationship with all of them. So it's the whole idea that it has to be either career or, I don't even like that word career anymore, really, your pursuits or your family. I think that's a false dichotomy. It's a false either or.
And I definitely think there's a way to bring them into the fold a little bit. I grew up around other kids who were latchkey kids, is what we called them back then.
Yeah,
their parents were career people, bringing home that money, and so that sacrifice of time with the kids was what you do. So I was around that a lot, not from my own parents. My own parents were very supportive, very involved with our life, very present, which, man, I sure did appreciate that. So I took that model and the model that I saw that I didn't want to have from other families, and so I've tried, not successfully, Lionel, 100% of the time, but I've tried to find ways of how can I plug them in, how can I connect with them, how can I make this about them, and just whatever it takes. To go back to the film, when I did the film, my son, I cast him as the in the role of the main character in the backstory. And he was the voiceover, so the narration is done by him. My oldest son was really getting into directing, so I let him direct one of the scenes. That was great.
How great is that?
Oh, it was fantastic. It turned out to be really great. But it could very well have been like, Dad, we don't want to do your thing. And that's when you got to listen and go, okay, well, then this isn't the thing, just because I want it to be the thing. But yeah.
I've always liked the idea of wealth being, there's certain kinds of wealth that are fictitious wealth and actual wealth. And, man, I was so dead set on doing music that I think I could have missed that, and thank God I didn't, because it's been such true wealth, the relationships, right, with your kids, with your spouse, and it can be hard. Not saying it's easy, but man, it's an amazing type of wealth that I would feel impoverished. The way I
think about it is, when it's all said and done, who am I spending my time with? I mean, it just makes sense.
Wow.
That if I chose to have this kid, I'm guessing and hoping that I'm going to be choosing to have my last conversation with them too. And so work on that relationship.